Well, it looks like Hearthstone has announced the Hearthstone Creator Program for the community. This was something that I even did a video on when Alkali Lake was originally on the Angry Chicken back in, I think it was around May or June of last year, 2022. And originally there was statements that it was kind of expected to be around the time of that following expansion, which would have launched in August of last year. But definitely coming out now, at least we get something. But they have made the initial announcement here, so we're going to take a look at this, and I'm going to give you my first initial reactions as we go through this. So they're talking about fans and content creators making the game special. Definitely a lot of content creators, a lot of people doing content stuff. Okay, they want to do more things for creators. We're happy to announce that they have launched the Hearthstone Creator Program. Okay, so the new Creator Program website, we'll take a look at that here in a second, includes the guidelines and an application form to join. Participants in the program get benefits like early information to help them make timely content, giveaway codes, event invites, cool merch. All right. I mean, that all sounds good. I'm excited. Like, the sound of it is good. The agreement for details about program rules and eligibility, that's definitely going to be something that's important. We plan to expand the creator program eligibility and scope in future updates. Okay. And yep, more information on Angry Chicken. February 1st, community manager Alkali Lake will be appearing on the show there to talk about that. It does say we expect a lot of applications to this program, especially in the early days, so please be patient. Keep in mind it may take a few weeks to review and follow up. Okay, so let's take a look here at is the creator program initial page. What are we looking for? Passionate, consistent, play nice, play fair, and community. All right, so what they are looking to aim to provide for creators is direct communication, giveaway codes, special events, and some influencer merch. They do have some guidelines here for their different categories. Streamers, they want to have at least 60% of the content needs to be Hearthstone related. Makes sense. That's reasonable. I'm glad they didn't make it like, 80%, giving some flexibility there. At least 5,000 followers or consistent uploads over the last 6 months with steady increased viewership. That's kind of interesting. I'm not really sure like what they would consider a steady increase in viewership. So kind of interesting. 5,000 followers on Twitch, or I guess maybe they're also considering this YouTube live streaming, but it looks like Twitch, honestly, through this. So 5,000 followers on Twitch is a bit heavy. It is a bit heavy. Personally, I have grown quite a bit over the last year or two, and I have gotten to around 3,600 myself. So I don't even meet this requirement, which is kind of nutty considering that I still feel like I have had some really good growth. So very curious to see if there's going to be information on like what they would consider consistent growth. At least 200 concurrent viewers if live streaming over the last 90 days. Also pretty steep. That is a pretty steep requirement, I would say. I can imagine they probably don't want just anybody and everybody who streams to be able to do this, but this I feel like these requirements here, consistent uploads over the last 6 months, makes sense. But the followers and concurrent viewers does make it really difficult for people who maybe work full time, especially, and maybe stream like 2, maybe 3 times a week, even if they have decent numbers. So that could be pretty tough. Not gonna lie there. That seems slightly steep to me for the requirements. It does depend, I feel like, too, on what exactly you get for rewards as well. I think it would be kind of cool to see different levels, like for people who can only stream once or twice a week, maybe they can get some codes to give away, but maybe they don't get invited to special events or are eligible for merch. You know, if they allowed for more of that, could be interesting. But let's check out these other guidelines as well. For YouTube, at least 60% of content needs to be Hearthstone related. Again, pretty reasonable. At least 5,000 YouTube subscribers. Not gonna lie, that seems even more difficult to me, honestly. Or consistent uploads over the last 6 months with steady increased viewership, which they could review. I am still working on the first 1,000, and if you go onto YouTube, you look up content, if you're trying to be a YouTuber, there's so much content out there about getting your first 1,000 subscribers, because it is difficult. Like, it is work. You have to put in a lot of work. You have to make good videos that people want to keep coming back to. And you have to make videos that people want to watch over your whole channel to get them to subscribe. There's a lot of work that goes into that. So for me, 5,000 YouTube subscribers seems kind of high. There is the difference of YouTube is a little bit more, well, not a little bit. YouTube is way easier to discover content on than Twitch. So maybe some people could have, you know, an easier time getting to that point than they could 5,000 followers on Twitch. But that still seems a little steep to me. And again, they do have a live streaming here, so that answers my question of what I mentioned earlier. But again, the 200 concurrent viewers of live streaming over the last 90 days, it seems a little steep there for my personal taste, at least for a starting point. Again, if they had like levels, I think that would be amazing. Cool, they have a podcast section. I do 2 podcasts that we end up talking about stuff, but it's not always. But podcasts, okay, 70% of content needs to be Hearthstone related. Well, for me personally, Doctor 3, we record every single week, and we focus on standard Hearthstone, so all of the content is Hearthstone related for that one. Consistent uploads over the last 6 months, okay, and an active social media presence on at least one platform. I'm kind of curious if they have requirements on what they consider active. You know, is posting once a week, just saying, hey, here's our episode. Is that considered active on social media and at least one platform, or are they looking for more? I do hope that they clarify that a little bit, if that is something that's going to stop people who are doing podcasts from being able to get accepted. So definitely would like to hear a little more on that. But overall, like, this seems pretty good. I do like this here for the podcasting. This seems pretty reasonable. It does require the 6 months, not 90 days like the other ones. But I think this is more achievable for maybe average creators. And then social influencer. This is pretty cool here. I do like the different categories. So influencer, at least 30% of content needs to be Hearthstone related. Consistent uploads over the last 6 months. Must be able to provide platform insights over the last 90 days. And then those insights evaluated by community teams. So probably going to be looking at, you know, your kind of the reach that you have, like on Twitter, for example. They probably look at reach, the engagement, you know, what kind of involvement are your posts actually getting. I'm also kind of curious, like, what is included in influencers, because, you know, Twitter posts versus something like TikTok could be very, very different. So very curious to see what they all involve in the influencer category. But also noticeably a huge drop in the amount of percent of content needed, which I think in that case, maybe that is something that people could reach for as well. Essentially, like, if you're looking at something like Twitter, every 1 of 3 posts that you make needs to be related to Hearthstone. Okay. Obviously has to be consistent over the last 6 months, but okay. So kind of interesting there. I think some of them, probably easier for like average people to, or for majority of people, I'll say, a majority of creators to apply for some of these over the others, but I do really, really like that they have the different categories so that it's not just one specific type of content that they're looking for. Let's look at this agreement. This is probably just the legal side of it. So yeah, this is just the legal side. If you are planning on applying, read through this. Like, going through legal documents is incredibly important. So if this is something that you're interested in, or if you want to be interested in it, then read through this. I will say that's if I have learned anything in the last 5 years of doing content and working with, working with anybody for sponsorships, working for potential money or benefits, or working as anything, is read through these contracts, read through legal documents, and really understand what it is that you can or can't do, or that is required. They do kind of have a breakdown I see here in some of these requirements. So this is the section I would definitely recommend at least starting with if you are going to look here. So this starts on page 13 of this document. I'll have it all linked for you as well, but definitely check this specific spot out if this is what you're looking for. Now, at the very bottom of this page, talking about the creator program, is the link to apply if you are interested in doing so. We're going to walk through this so you can see if this is something you're interested in, what information you will need to enter in. So the first one is your email, and then just verifying that you are at least 18. And then once you enter that in, it pops up with more questions. So there's a decent amount of questions here. But let's look at these. So it's asking what region you are from. If you are curious, there is this whole list at the bottom of this page, what regions are supported, what countries and areas are accepted here. So you can look there and then enter where you are from, your content creation name. So it does ask you kind of which one you're applying for. If you have various forms of creation you're looking at, your battle tag, Discord, how long you've been creating Hearthstone content, asking if Hearthstone is your primary game, your Twitch following range, your Twitter follows, your YouTube followers, if you're a streamer, how often you stream, how often you upload on YouTube. Do you create content for a podcast? And then you can link that there. If you create on TikTok, and then if yes, you can link your account. How did you hear about the program? And then make sure that you agree to the agreement. And once you fill it all in, you can hit submit. And it does just give you this thank you form for saying that you completed it. And it does reiterate that it might take a couple of weeks because of the amount of applications that they are getting. So, if you apply, good luck. Let me know if you are interested. And again, join all of those socials. Get in the communities that I'm in. Join my Discord, the Amberflake Gaming Discord. Any of that. If you want some tips, strategy, ideas, if you want to run some ideas by myself or other people in the community on how to post more consistently, you want to really get this started so that maybe in the next 3 to 6 months you can apply for this. Definitely get in those communities. There should be links in the description below, or you can find me on Twitter or wherever and then join those communities from there as well. But feel free to post any questions, thoughts that you have. I think initially starting out for the majority of creators, a lot of this requirement is pretty steep. But let's work together, help each other out, and see if we can get there. And hopefully by the time that you all are kind of getting to the point to be ready to apply, maybe the requirements have expanded and it'll be even easier at that point. So let me know. But thank you so much for checking this out, and I will see you in the next one.